The Lab Incident. It's the autumn of 1996 in New York, USA. Karen is a top chemistry professor at Dartmouth College. Like usual, she is working in the lab. Today she is doing research on how heavy metals interact with cells. Part of this research required using dimethylmercury. As she poured the mercury, she accidentally spilled a single drop of it onto her gloved hand. Although it wasn't much, she still followed safety procedures. She removed the gloves and washed her hands. But it was already too late. Dimethylmercury can permeate normal lab gloves within seconds, and it gets absorbed into the skin much faster. She didn't know that though. She finished the rest of her work and went home. Mercury poisoning can be treated easily if noticed early on, but the problem is that it isn't easily noticeable. For the next 5 months, Karen was perfectly fine, but then one day she suddenly couldn't walk properly, and also started talking like a drunk man. She thought she was probably too tired and took a few days off work, but her condition only got worse. Her eyesight got blurry and she couldn't hear much. Her husband took her to the hospital, where the doctor diagnosed her with mercury poisoning, but they really couldn't do anything to help her. Too much time had passed since the poisoning, and the mercury had already affected her entire nervous system. Little by little, she lost control over parts of her body for the next 3 months, until she succumbed to her death on June 8, 1997. The worst part is that she was conscious while all this was happening. After her death, the world realized the dangers of dimethylmercury, and labs across the world banned dimethylmercury for almost all research purposes. The Greed Incident. It's a hot summer day of 1986 in Auburn, Washington, a small city about 25 miles south of Seattle. Bruce has been working hard all day, operating heavy machinery. He finishes work and returns home to his wife at about 4 p.m. His head has been aching all day from the dusty work, so he grabs an Excedrin bottle and chugs down a bunch of capsules to feel better. Then he steps out onto the deck and sits down to relax and watch the birds.
His wife comes out after him, grinning a little too much.
What happened was that a few hours earlier, while Bruce was at work, his wife had tampered with the Excedrin bottle. She had carefully filled several of the capsules with potassium cyanide, a deadly poison that acts fast and stops the cells from using oxygen, suffocating its victim to death. The reason she did this was so that she could claim the money from Bruce's life insurance policies,
which was about $176,000.
While Bruce is chilling, his headache suddenly amplifies into a blinding torment. He gets up but starts feeling dizzy with fog clouding his vision. He falls on his knees and his breathing grows desperate. He is breathing, but his lungs are suffocating. Foam comes out his mouth and his eyes fill with terror as he looks at his wife smiling like a psychopath. His body starts convulsing and he collapses onto the deck. His wife waits 15 minutes for the cyanide to take effect before calmly calling the emergency services. The first responders arrive within a few minutes and Bruce is airlifted to the hospital. The doctors try their best, but the damage is too severe. Bruce dies within half an hour after being taken to the hospital. His wife was later arrested and sentenced to life in prison, but only after killing another person. The Tea Incident. On the morning of November 1st, 2006, in London, while Alexander is having breakfast with his wife and son, he gets a call from a man named Andre saying that he wants to meet to discuss a business deal. He agrees and goes to Millennium Hotel at about 4 p.m. to meet him. As he sits down, Andre pours him some green tea. Unbeknownst to Alexander, the teapot had already been laced with polonium-210. Polonium is a highly radioactive military-grade poison, which has no taste or smell. Not suspecting anything, Alexander drank the tea. There are no immediate effects, so he simply concluded the deal and went home at 5 p.m. That evening, he felt slightly unwell, experiencing a slight nausea and a burning sensation. But he ignores it, thinking he will be fine after some sleep. The next day comes, and it gets worse. He starts vomiting, and his stomach starts hurting. His wife suspects that he has food poisoning and gets him some medicine, but it doesn't help. Within hours, he starts vomiting like crazy, and his body temperature goes through the roof. His wife takes him to the Barnet Hospital, but the tests conducted do not reveal that it was poisoning, since polonium is really hard to detect. For the next week, his condition worsens to the point that he can barely walk. He is in constant pain and agony. The doctors treat him for severe dehydration and food poisoning, but he only gets worse. The The medical teams run various tests, but can't identify anything unusual. Eventually, his hair starts to fall out, and he feels like he is constantly suffocating. Finally, on the 17th of November, he decides to reveal his secret identity to the doctors, saying that he used to be a spy for Russia, but had defected and came to Britain. Considering this, the doctors thought that he is most likely poisoned and moved him to a better hospital. Again, the doctors there tried what they could, but they too couldn't figure out anything. Meanwhile, his immune system starts collapsing, and he starts bleeding both internally and externally. He described it as being swallowed from the inside out. Over the next 2 days, his organs start to fail one by one, and he falls unconscious. The doctors find out that the poisoning is caused by polonium, but it is too late to reverse the damage now. On the 23rd of November, Alexander had a cardiac arrest and passed away, leaving behind his wife and a son. The Perfume Incident, June 27th, 2018. The day began calm and clear in Salisbury, Britain, and like usual, Charlie is seen rummaging through the charity bins. Unexpectedly, he finds a nice, expensive-looking perfume bottle. He keeps it, thinking that it would be a nice gift for his girlfriend. What he didn't know was that this bottle contains Novichok, an extremely lethal Russian nerve agent. Even a tiny amount of Novichok can be fatal, and the amount of Novichok in the perfume bottle found by Charlie is enough to kill thousands. A few days later, Charlie goes to visit his girlfriend, Amelia. They exchange greetings. Then as they sit down, Charlie excitedly shows her the perfume. Then he puts a spray cap on the perfume and slides it towards her. Not knowing that the perfume is Novichok, Amelia sprays it on her wrists and rubs them together. Within just a minute, she starts sweating. Then she clutches her head and gets up, saying that she is feeling weird. She makes her way to the bathroom and then gets into the bathtub with her clothes on. Suddenly, she starts shaking violently, unable to call for help. Her pupils go small, blurring everything. Foam and blood starts to come out of her mouth profusely. She remains in this state of excruciating pain for the next 15 long minutes, until Charlie comes in. He takes her out of the tub and quickly calls the emergency services. The first responders arrive within an hour, but by then she has fallen unconscious. As she is admitted, she wakes up for a brief moment before falling into a coma. Her organs start to fail one by one, and she dies after 8 days. Meanwhile, Charlie also got sick, but he was treated quickly at the hospital and survived. Stories like these remind us that danger often hides in the most ordinary things. A cup of tea, a bottle of perfume, or even medicine. If something feels off, trust your gut. Don't accept random food, drinks, or gifts, and stay alert. Sometimes being cautious is the only thing that keeps you safe. And subscribe to help me make more videos like these. Have a goated day.